How long will it take you to get there, starting at ground zero? I already see Flanders in here. All right, very good. So the larger the population, the larger the what? What have you noticed so far? What is it? The larger the drawer, the larger the competitive pages. So you want to bootstrap this. You want to go after the smallest areas with the most volume of key phrases first. So if you're looking for efficiency audits, energy savings, home insulation, home performance, solar services, wall insulation, these guys heavily focus on insulation and performance. Their entire business model is energy savings audits, saving you money and so forth. That's their business model. We'll go over to Folks. These guys have been with us for 10 plus years. They came from the very first speaking event that I had in HVAC. These guys are in Fishkill, New York. They focus on oil and gas conversions. That's their big. So we'll go grab oil and gas conversions beacon. This is the cool part. If you have a low competition phrase that you want to get ranked for, the first step is how do I get on page one, number one? The second step is how do I move my competitors out of the way? It's not enough for us to have you ranked and be one of 10 options on the page, not including pay-per-click. I want to make sure if you have a low competition phrase, you own page one position. What is this? 1. Next. 2, 3, 4, 5. What happens with his odds? His odds significantly increase because he owns the first 5 positions on Google. Notice these URLs. These are called permalinks. It's everything after the /. It's not the website that shows up on page 1. That's half the battle. It's your interior pages and posts, your blog posts, your content, right? So the first one he has is he's got a page called Benefits to Oil and Gas Conversions in Beacon. Makes sense based on what we're looking for. We're looking for oil to gas conversion beacon, right? We'll go down. Next one is the best place to get oil gas conversion in Beacon. Next one is discover the best place to get oil and gas conversion in Beacon. The next one is oil and gas conversion in Beacon. Oil and gas conversions. So it's sitting pretty, right? Every page you put on your website gives you the opportunity to occupy another position in the drawer. Make sense? Okay. So, and it doesn't matter where you are. Technically, the only thing that's different is are you sitting in the middle of a big city or a small city? Let's go West Chicago. So this one, more complicated, 722,000. The first 2 links, these are pay-per-click ads. In a nutshell, 18% of your total clicks are going to happen with a pay-per-click ad. These tend to be less educated consumers from a technical standpoint. They're clicking on an ad, so they're not heavy internet searchers. They also tend to be more heavily focused on price. They're price shoppers. They're not looking for a relationship in the same environment that someone who finds you on an organic search that's looking for quality in a relationship is. Okay, next area. Remember I told you there were 3 areas you can make money online, right? First area was pay-per-click. Second area was Google Business Listings. Yes, your Google Maps. So here's our client, Google Maps. The way to show up in this particular search, you have to have a physical address in that city that they're searching. So their address has to say West Chicago, Illinois, for example. Secondly, you have to have the best, and the most frequent reviews out of all of the other companies that are listed in that city. Does that make sense? Have to. On Google Maps, on your Google business listing. Your reviews on Yelp, nada. Your reviews on Home Advisor, can't be seen by anybody. Your reviews on Angie's List, invisible. You might as well put them in a coffee can. Okay? A lot of times we're going after getting reviews in the wrong places that don't provide or serve the value that you should. Google Maps is owned by who? Yeah, Google is technically God in the digital marketing world. This is their baby, their game. YouTube, Google, ICANN, Google My Business Listing, Google Maps. These are all Google. Google Plus. And then sitting down, page 1, position 2, search. Okay? Let me go back to here really quick because I want to show you. Does that make sense as far as you need 30 days for every 100,000 views? Excuse me, for every 100,000 pages in the door? Okay. So where are you positioned matters. This is called a click-through rate, which is how do consumers search. So if you are sitting on page 1 of Google, position 1, you're going to get 18% of the organic results. Position 2, what is it? 10%. Position 3, what happened to the search result where we owned 5 positions? What's their total? How does it affect their click-through rate? 20, 30, 40, 45 to 50% of your total clicks are going to go to their site. Make sense? They own that market. That's theirs. And he's funny because he calls and says, somebody just creeped up. Get him down. Okay. So position matters. First is making sure you're even playing the game. That's getting you into the drawer. You have to have perfect technology in place. You have to have perfect content in place. It has to be titled and labeled properly. It has to have a little bit of time online. The second thing is moving you from the back of the drawer to the front of the drawer. Any thoughts on how Google makes those decisions on why you should move up?
Keywords in your text.
That's going to put you in the drawer. Good, 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 good. That'll put you in the drawer. So why does a consumer choose to do business with you? Okay. How long you've been around, and what other people think about you? Google's identical. The greatest part about internet marketing is once you realize that what consumers want and what Google wants is identical, makes it really easy to not break the rules and to make progress. People want to know, are you current? Do you know what's happening in the industry? Are you current? And so forth. They want to know, are you relevant to what I need? So if I'm looking for whole house air purification, or if I'm looking for indoor air quality, if I'm looking for air conditioner installation services or replacement or change outs or whatever, repair and so forth, are you relevant? And they want to know, are you trusted? What do other people care about you? Google is identical. Marketing online and offline is identical. Are you relevant? Are you current? That you're blogging, new content being posted regularly, and are you trusted? Identical. You accomplish those 3 things, you'll never go through any major penalties from Google except if you have an old website with bad code. Cool? Okay. So this seems complicated, but it's really not. The first part is making sure that the research is done. We have to know how consumers shop in your area. Some of it is going to be us asking you questions and you providing feedback. But we also know that that feedback is limited because you're only providing us answers based on what you already have. That might be a huge opportunity for you to get different kinds of customers, but you're not reaching them, so you can't give us that data. So we take customers' advice in hand as far as what do they think people are looking for, but we also know that there's a large possibility there's an audience out there looking for something different, but because you're not marketing to them in those places, you don't see them. Does that make sense? So we have to know the phrases, what are people looking for? Next, that's going to identify your key phrases. Your key phrases online, text type first. How are we doing? Time? Close to? Okay. Content, design. If you guys are spending money on advertising and marketing, and you are spending money outbound, right? You're spending money on pay-per-click, you're doing mailers, you're doing flyers, and you send them back to a website you know you shouldn't send them back to, right? Immediately you're like, I probably shouldn't send them here. Design matters. We've got to make sure that if we spend anything on marketing our company, that we're driving consumers back to something that's going to make them feel good when they get there, something that's easy to navigate and so forth. Very important. Making sure things are labeled. That was in my poem. Making sure that the code, those are your nerds in the garage with their techno music and Red Bull. Backlinks, that's off-page SEO without getting too complicated. When I said that Google cares about how other people perceive you, well, other people, it's not somebody talking, it's a link. It's a link from a social media account. It's a link from a local listing account. It's a link from a business directory. It's a link from a Amana dealer website. Okay, it's a link that you may have on S.W. Anderson's website. It's a link from a powerful website. The more links you have that are pointing back to you saying thumbs up, the more Google's going to push your website up on the rankings because other people trust you, and that's how it knows. Strategy, marketing, social media, local traffic. This is essentially what people want, and it's the same thing Google wants. It's identical. Are you quality? Are you reliable? Do you provide support, performance, experience? Do other people love you? Have high satisfaction ratings? You guys, 2017 is coming. And right now, we're just talking about how to catch up with 2014, 15, and 16. 2017 is no joke. Okay, in 17, we have the AMP Accelerated Mobile Pages project. It's a big deal. That's stripping down your entire website, recoding it, and structuring it so that it renders content instantaneously. It also removes all of the pretty pictures, images, graphics, promotions, all of that pretty stuff that you put on your site is stripped from any mobile search and display. All they get is the text. If you don't have the pretty distractive images and they're actually reading your content, do we have to make sure the content is well written? It's really important because you're talking about white page with text, and that's it. That's what they're getting. Google has to see that websites are loading faster. The problem is the heavier websites get, the more content that is put onto a website, the more complex the coding is and dynamic the site is, the longer it takes to render. Google wants it to display instantly. This is next. Smartphones, mobile apps, cross devices and channels. AI, artificial intelligence, in this world is a big deal. People are talking to their phones, they're talking to their wrists, they're talking to Alexa, they're talking to their computers now. IBM has what? Watson? Apple has Siri. Amazon has Alexa. All of these different devices are allowing people to talk to get what they need done so they can multitask. Those are different queries. Live chat and messaging apps, very important. Google's actually evaluating do websites have live chat going into 2017. Authentication. Google is authenticating websites differently in 2017. Do you own your domain name? Is it public and can I see the register information? Do you have all your legal notices? So you didn't have to do this before. You didn't have to have a privacy message and your privacy policy and your terms and condition statements. You're going to have legal notices. It also is evaluating your Contact Us page. If the Contact Us page has enough content, your addresses, are they pinned to Google Maps, or your phone number is clickable, and does it match all of your other listings? It's getting complicated. Okay, sales automation, big deal. Data and predictive trends, we got to work by the numbers. It's not all perception. Authority, content, inbound marketing, digital transformation, change management. Change management's a big deal in our industry because we're dealing with people who've got the I've always done it this way mindset. But our customers are not always going to do it the same way. They're changing faster than we are. We have to catch up. Cool? All right. So the bottom line is no different than I would tell you. You have to show your customers what other people think about you versus tell them. And it's the same thing with the digital marketing agency. If you're talking to a digital marketing agency, you tell them, show me. You show me what you're doing for your customers. And if they can't instantaneously pull up reports that show, this is my client, they don't have to say what the name is, but at least they should tell you, this is their average investment, these are the things they're doing, this is where they're ranking, this is what we're held accountable for, and this is what our results are. Would that help you make a better decision? Okay, so couple things on this. There are a couple sources that will help you. Don't trust me. Don't trust web people. Okay? Trust me, I have over 75 full-time team members. They're really good at blowing smoke. I have interviewed many. So a couple things you should look up. One is the 2016 SEO, Google SEO guidelines. Pretty much everything I just showed you. Let me see how you look for it. Hang on a second. Google SEO 2016 at Google SEO guidelines. There is a PDF file, and actually, you know what? I'll send it to all of you. It's on Google's Webmaster. That's funny, it shows up here. I'm going to send you a PDF file. Oh, there it is. So Google's optimization starter guide. It's actually on here multiple times. That is a document produced by Google that basically will support everything that I just went over. All the technical stuff you don't want to listen to, but it's really important. That's first. The other thing you can look for is look for 2016 search engine ranking factors or 2016 SEO ranking factors. When you look for that, click on images. This will very quickly give you an idea of how many different variables Google is looking at. And it takes you from 2013, 14, 15, 16, and it's attempting to tell you what's happening in 17. It's a lot of different, it's not just building a website and making things happen. So you got to take things in baby steps. Is it expensive? It's not expensive to get started on the right foot. Not expensive at all. Start with the basics. Add on, add on, add on. You should be looking at this strategically as every quarter I need to be adding to my marketing presence, to my digital presence, to my brand's presence on the internet. Every quarter I've got to do something different. All right? With that, couple things. One, if you guys are interested in setting up a strategy session with us, we promised everybody at SW Anderson, you guys have done an incredible job about putting on this event with Amana. You guys can absolutely take our time. And this is just educational. I'm not a salesperson. I'm a business owner and an entrepreneur. Help people grow, buy, sell companies for many, many years. You guys can, if you have your phone with you, pull it out, open up your text message, and it's this easy. When you open up text, the first thing you do is put the phone number in the message area. And then in the phone number area, just put 44222. And then in the message, you're just going to put Amana dealer, no spaces, no caps, and hit send. It'll send you a message back and say received. Please respond with your email. Put your email address in there, and we'll have one of our ladies set up time to be able to sit down with you, strategize. Our job is to do that SWOT analysis. We'll pull about 60 different reports to figure out how you're currently ranked, how you're positioned, what's working, what's not, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what are your opportunities, what are your threats. And then after that, we'll give you a very, very clear list of the things you need to do in order. Everything in marketing, everything in business is based on doing the right things in the right order at the right time. You do that, game on. Helpful? Yes? Fantastic. Thanks, you guys.
All right. Beautiful. Thank you, Jennifer, very much.